Hello, you guys. I'm Rick Dancer. Welcome to Get Real with Rick Dancer. We have a great show for you tonight. As you know, there's a petition drive going on to try to get it so that we're actually trying to reinstate democracy in Oregon so that you would actually get to have a say in the vote on what's going on, and that your governor can't give you a $4.3 billion tax, and that you will have the right to get rid of that and put it on a ballot. So we're going to check in with Ed, who's one of the chief petitioners on this, and he'll give us kind of an update. We don't have the numbers yet. I know a lot of you have been emailing me all day when I put out a little announcement we were going to have Ed on here. What are the numbers? What are the numbers? But we'll probably get something for you maybe in the maybe tomorrow. We'll talk to Ed, find out when they're going to have some numbers, but we're waiting on that. But first, we're going to check in with real quick. This is Bethany Thomas. Hi, Bethany. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
So tell people what you're doing and what you own, and kind of the whole shebang.
Yeah. So my name is Bethany, and I'm the new owner of Evergreen Nutrition. Purchased this back in April of last year, and we have signed up to be a place where people could come in and sign this petition. We believe that every Oregonian has the right to have a voice. And so seeing as my business is a very central location, I thought it would be a good opportunity to offer this for the community.
But you have had some blowback from some people, who disagree with your position and your freedom shirt.
Yes. So I was contacted over the weekend, and someone was complaining in this vicinity that they thought that I should check with my landlord to see if it was okay to put a sign. Now the sign is not impeding any of the parking space area. So I just kind of have not paid attention to it, and we're going to have that out no matter what. So, because it's not, to me, it's not a political issue. This is, let's take this to the voters. We have a right to have a say. And that's what I feel is most important. And as a small business owner, knowing that payroll tax is going to go up, that definitely, it affects me, affects my business, it affects my employees. So yeah.
So what has the response been so far from your end?
For the most part, it's been very positive. We've had a lot of people come in. Hey, where's the petition? We would really like to sign. I put it out to all of my people that I know. Hey, let everyone know. Everyone is excited that this is going to be a place that not only can you come and let your voice be heard, but also get supports that you need. Because obviously we are all stressed out. We're going into the cold and flu season. We have the holidays coming up. So it's a great time that people can also stock up on things that they might need.
So it wasn't a tough decision, but you're kind of a gutsy woman. I mean, you and I are friends, so I know. You're not afraid to stand out and talk about what you believe in. And this, as you said, this is not a Democrat or Republican issue. Tons of Democrats, tons of non-affiliated voters, which is the largest voting bloc in Oregon, are really irritated about this.
Yeah. Well, it affects everyone. And, I have a son who's going to be of driving age soon. So, I told him the other day, this is to protect you, moving forward. And, when you go to buy a car and you go to register that, you're going to be paying a lot more than you would be. And so he was like, oh, I didn't even know. So I think that, this is just an issue of, hey, let's put it on the ballot. Let's the voter decide.
So give them your name of your business again.
So it's Evergreen Nutrition, and we're down here at 1653 Willamette Street, and we're very central to all sorts of people to be able to come, whether you work downtown, live downtown. If you're in South Eugene, come on by and sign this petition, and let's get this done. I tend to call our governor, Miss MaxiPad. Let's tell her no on this.
So, and I'll throw in a real clip for you real fast. Cold and flu season's here. Go talk to Bethany. Don't take the regular stuff that you think you want to take. Go talk to her, because she can get you the right stuff that's not going to, kill your brain and all that other stuff.
Yeah. And, in 2026, we got a lot of great things coming here to Evergreen. We have a whole education center now. We're going to have guest speakers, webinars, classes. I'm going to be teaching things and really teaching people how to detox that toxin bucket, which is probably overflowing, especially going into the holiday season. So let me help you figure it out and get to the true root cause of why you might not be feeling the best.
Bethany, you're awesome. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, Rick.
See ya. Bye-bye. She really does know what she's talking about. I mean, she has me on mushroom coffee, and I was going to buy one of those ones online. And then she goes, no, get the good stuff. So I got the good stuff. So she really knows what she's talking about, but I mean, all the micro, and all that stuff, but I don't, but that's why you go to her. Ed Deal.
Hey, Rick.
How you doing? Okay. Ed's one of the chief petitioners, along with two other troublemakers, Bruce Starr and Jason Williams. And so, over the weekend Ducks game, I saw pictures and people, and I mean, it's like lines. Hillsborough. I love the Hillsborough picture because here the city council is inside their chambers, and we're coming against. We're a sanctuary city. We're coming against Trump and all this and blah, blah, blah. And they've got lines of people out there signing petitions, trying to get a voice in Oregon while they're sequestered in their chambers. And I'm from there. I was born and raised there. I was so ashamed when I saw that. And then I saw the line of people and I was like, those are my people.
We had up there at Hillsborough, there was a guy that walked over a mile just to sign the petition. He signed it and he went back, and it's been what an outpouring that we collected thousands at the Duck game. If we would have had more volunteers there, we would have collected thousands more, I'm sure. We rocked it this weekend. So yeah, I'm pumped. And people like Bethany, she's great. That's so cool. I hadn't met her before. But we've had a lot of businesses. They're saying, hey, small businesses, hey, I want this. I had a guy, he's the CEO of a chain of banks. He says, I want you in my banks. Set up a volunteer inside the bank to gather signatures.
Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of
gas stations.
Normally when you're doing stuff like this, it's like begging people to go out and do this. And this is one where you got you probably, if you had more volunteers, you could probably have someone in every Dairy Queen or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's the demand is continuing to grow, frankly. It's been tough to keep up, even though we have hundreds of sites. You look today, I think there's 122 locations today across the state where people are gathering signatures, just like Bethany. And
how do people find out? Like, if I still get emails once in a while, not as much, but how do they find out where? I've been telling people, call your Republican office.
So if you go to notaxor.com, and it took us some effort to get the website to a place where it's reliable, but it's there now. Notaxor.com, and you'll see in the drop-down menu, there's petition signing locations.
Okay.
And there's a tab for just today. You can see what's available today, and you can filter it by your town or your county. It's all there. So
what's coming up tomorrow? What can you tell me?
Oh man. Well, I'm hoping that we'll be able to give an update tomorrow to you. Okay. That's the plan. And I'd love to come on your show 4:00. Is that right?
Yeah, that's when we do
it. And give you an update. Let people know where we're at.
Well, I may have something very interesting for you tomorrow too, if you come on. So at 4:00, we'll have you off the top. Then at 4:30, I'm working on Colinda, and this is a young woman in Lyons, Oregon. She's a bartender, and this woman,
I know Colinda.
She's going to come on because she's so mad about the Constitution and how people need to understand it, and what the governor's doing right now isn't right. And I said, would you come on? And she's bartending, so she's going to come on and take a little break off of her bartending gig.
I was just at the Trio Tavern yesterday having a beer, and she wasn't there though. I was going to stop by to say hi, but she wasn't working.
So I got somebody else here for you. I'm going to say, Lucetta, are you there close by? I saw you walking around. I want to make sure you were there. But you know her, right?
Yes, I do know Lucetta. She is our fearless leader in the House Republican caucus.
Well, she and I are going to talk about Lucetta. What do you think of what Ed and Bruce and the rest of I mean, all these Oregonians? This is pretty impressive.
Yeah. It is. It's amazing. I mean, they are our heroes right now. The way that they came out of the gates and did this, I mean, I think it surprised everyone. And we already thought they were going to, do amazing things. But they have done such a great job of being organized and ready to go. And then the response from Oregon across the whole entire state. I mean, they just met them with such gusto, and they have definitely spoken loud and clear about how they feel about this.
So, Lucetta, what does this tell you in terms of like when you're leadership in Oregon? People are we're done. They're done. I mean, they
Yeah,
want something different. Is
I
this
do. I 100% believe that. I do. Um, but it's Oregon. And I don't know why we just really have not pivoted for a very long time. And I hope 26 is the year. But I agree with you. I know they're tired of it. I know they want something different. I know they can't afford to live here. Um, so we all of us collectively are the ones that need to make the change. I mean, we can't do it in Salem. We don't have the votes.
and
I really think that people are finally waking up and they're saying they don't recognize their state anymore. Their representatives are not representing them. They clearly didn't in this case.
Yeah.
And that's why we have this referendum process.
you know
Right.
what I get a lot of because I'm called in Montana, I'm called an Oregon refugee. And but what I get a lot is a ton of people come on who couldn't do it anymore and left Oregon. But here's the thing that, and then I get criticized because people say, why don't you left? Why don't you just stop talking about it? Well, it's because they don't want me to talk about it because we have millions of people that are listening. And that's why they want me to stop talking about it. But all these people like me are out here and we want the best for Oregon because we love it. And I think that's the thing is they've destroyed the Oregon we had and we know it can come back. We couldn't stay to do it, but we're still cheering you on, and I think they want the best for Oregonians.
Yeah. Well, Ed and I want the best too, and we just want a little more help so that we can do it. So, looking at 2026 as a campaign year, I mean, it's going to be a very big year.
Okay.
I think this is a movement we've started. We're already talking about what's next.
Yeah.
Because we're going to deliver a win for the state of Oregon and for the folks that are so desperate for a win and want their voices to be heard. Their voices are being heard. Let's figure out what the next thing is.
So yeah, because it's a long haul for Oregon. I mean, excuse me, they've made a mess of it, and it's not going to be restored in just one election, and people have to understand that.
Yeah, they have to understand that, but there could be things. There will be things that are alleviated immediately. I mean, I think one could say that this executive order that we saw last week is, maybe
let's
an
talk
answer
about
to what Ed's doing.
Because Lucetta, Ed, can I leave you on here?
Sure.
Okay, you can just throw some stuff in here too. Might as well have a tag team here.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people understood this. I felt like it got kind of whitewashed by the media, and it was, but so Lucetta, tell people what this is, what the executive order did and why this is so bad.
Yeah. So last week, our governor, Tina Kotek, put down another executive order, 2529, which basically is just accelerating. She directed more than a dozen, I think, state agencies to accelerate these, our Oregon Clean Energy Act. And the transition of going, expanding the electrification of transportation and buildings and updating the clean fuels program, all of it. And to do that in light of this movement that Ed is championing, it's the exact opposite of what I believe Oregonians are saying. I mean, this will increase costs more for Oregonians. This is less affordable. This is the exact opposite of what they're asking for. And I think that just goes to show how out of touch this majority power is in this state. I mean, they truly, I don't know what else to say about it. I am just stunned.
Is any of this in the bill that the Democrats passed? Is any of that? This is all extra?
This isn't even a tax. It's
Right.
setting these really super aggressive mandates for carbon emissions that it doesn't raise any revenue for ODOT. It just increases the cost of energy for Oregonians.
Right. I mean, there's already goals out there, and we're not on track to meet any of them when it comes to the goals that the governor has set for this clean energy, these clean energy mandates. We're not on track to meet them. And now this doubles down and makes him and just adds to it and says, oh, now we're going to reach this goal. Well, we haven't even met the first goal.
So does she not understand the part that many Oregonians have a problem with? Are that, they want the roads fixed, and you guys have come up, the Republicans came up with a plan that said we have the money to do the maintenance that needs to be done to keep things operating. But what we don't have, and what she's asking more for, is these pet projects, these extra things, these climate change things. So now when the people of Oregon are frustrated and they're coming out by the tens of thousands to say no, and then you slap them in the face like that with executive orders that tags on more money. Like, are you not listening?
No, they're not listening.
No. I mean, let's take just recently, Lane County.
Right.
Talked about $30 million worth of buses that they bought, electric buses.
Mm-hmm.
And 6 years later, they're abandoning them because they don't work.
Yeah.
They're plagued with maintenance issues. That's $30 million. Part of that was fed. Part of it was local taxes. But why are we prioritizing things like that and EV subsidies over maintenance? But that's exactly what the legislature's doing and the governor's doing with these decisions.
Well, have you heard about Lane County also has this fancy recycling program that the county commissioners and the county council signed off on, and now they're screwed because this thing is like, it's a nightmare, and it's not It's not going to work. They tried to put it on land that is land they can't use. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just a total mess. And it's like, God, but this thing with Kotek is really bothersome because it's like, you have people right now, it's in the midst. It's like going to a party and everybody's talking about you and they don't like you and you're not doing the right thing. And she's like, oh, and here's another thing I'm going to do for Oregonians. I wonder who is supporting this. Like, who are the little clowns out there that support this stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. There was a quote in here she had, and I'm confused by it. It was where she talks about how she wants to strengthen the public-private partnership with this executive order. I just want to know who the private partnership is. Like, I don't understand who are they?
And how do you strengthen?
They're the ones leaving, finding the exit door.
Yeah.
You guys, so I said this to Ed earlier when we were in here, and I said it to you too, Lucetta, is there was an investment group rating, and Portland and Oregon came in 80 out of 81. We're the second worst city, Portland is, to build a business. I mean, this is the reputation. This was and it was on their newscast on KATU. So for you legacy news lovers, it was right up your alley. But this guy, the Chamber of Commerce guy, was on the panel, and he was saying this is not helpful.
No, this isn't helpful at all. And we've been screaming this, Ed and I, since 23 when we came in. We've been saying over and over and over, like, how are we doing anything to attract business? How are we doing anything to help our business and to strengthen our economy? Everything that we've passed these last 3 years does the opposite. And then this is more of the same. So
she takes a trip to overseas to develop business when we can't even keep business here.
Yeah. Yes. Correct. Yeah.
It's one thing after another, and it's regulations that really make the cost of doing business in Oregon extraordinarily difficult. And that's not just for private businesses; it's also for nonprofits and hospitals. And I mean, it's basically impacting every business in the state. I think it's time to pay the piper now, because we have more and more businesses that are saying, I've reached the saturation point. We can't do any more. And then she comes out with an executive order like this. And then we have the climate protection program, which is coming down the pike, which is going to cost businesses and consumers billions of dollars a year as well.
And also we already in Oregon, we have, like, we're clean. We're one of the, closer to zero emission states that there is. And so to say that, we have these huge goals out there to even come down more. I mean, of course, I'm all about leaving our earth better than we found it, and being responsible and good stewards of the land, 100%. But this is crazy. This is unattainable, and it is ruining our state. It is driving people away. And so again, I don't understand the method behind this madness, and I don't understand the private part of the private-public partnership at all.
Well, in Lane County, they're the number one recycling county in the state of Oregon, and so now and then you need more, and I mean, and it's not, and I mean, they messed up. They messed up big time. So Lucetta, as the leader in the Oregon Party, how do you get more people? What you really need, we need a balanced legislature, because we don't want, I mean, you guys might, but I think overall you don't want a super majority in everything at all. You want people that have to, kind of have to work together.
Right. I agree with you. I do.
So how do you get people like Ed, who's just some businessman who he happens to run and he accidentally won? And now you're lucky because you got a really good guy on your hands. But how do you get more people? That's really what we need in Oregon, is more Republican, more just some of those non-affiliated voters to come in and go, okay, I want to serve, and I want to be in a state that's fair. I want fairness restored.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's what we keep saying. I do agree with you. I'm not looking for a super majority. I mean, I think that iron sharpens iron. And when you can have conversations, and when you can sit there and you can work with your colleagues, and they bring up a point of view that at first you're like, I don't know about that. And then you listen to it develop, and maybe you find that, actually, I hadn't thought of that, but I do agree with a portion. Or, you can work collaboratively. But when you have a super majority, and then hence the super minority, we are irrelevant, and we are not needed for any conversation. So therefore, we're not serving. I do not believe that the Oregon legislature is currently serving Oregonians at its best. I mean, we just simply are not.
This gas tax and fee thing is an example. There's an arrogance that comes with the supermajority. They approach this saying, it doesn't matter what the public thinks. We're going to push this through anyway. And we'll silence all the special interests. We'll give a little bit here and there to these special interests that may fund a referendum effort, and we'll shut them up. And they thought that this was a done deal. They were told that we couldn't pull this off.
Yeah.
You couldn't pull it off with volunteers, and we cut the money stream. We cut the big money stream, so you're not going to have money to do it. And I heard last week that from a lobbyist who was talking to some of the Dem leadership, and they was telling, hey, it looks like they've got the signatures. It looks like they're going to pull this off. And the response was, what? I was guaranteed that they wouldn't be able to do that. That is the arrogance that we're dealing with. And so I am so proud of the Oregon people and the volunteers that have stepped up and made this happen. We are making Oregon history with this movement, and this is going to have a ripple effect for years to come on the tax conversations that Lucetta is going to help us lead in that building. This is a movement.
So Lucetta, what are you excited about? I mean, aside from Ed and what they're doing, and that, but is that we're actually having this conversation, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I love the conversations. I do. That is something I'm very excited about, because there's so much misinformation out there. And I think that one of the things I like to do personally is just listen for a while, gather up all my facts, and then just succinctly respond with facts. Don't get all emotional, and don't go crazy and lean into the fear mongering or whatever it is that the news cycle is trying to spin, but just walk it out. Here's the facts around this issue that we're talking about. And, as my job, I'm just trying to bring out transparency. I'm trying to elevate the conversation around this. And I think that Oregonians appreciate that. They're tired of the political rhetoric and the bashing that goes on, but they are saying enough is enough. So what's really happening? And so much of this doesn't make sense. So that does excite me, because I want to shed light on the truth of what's happening, what has been happening, and what could happen if we would just pivot a little bit.
What's your big, what's the big thing that could happen? I think
I think with a more balanced legislature and a Republican governor, I think one of the things we could do immediately is stop bleeding out with our businesses. Right now we're seeing more businesses close or leave our state than we are seeing them open. So we're negative right there. And we're seeing the states around us, enticing businesses away from Oregon. And so I think that is something that, and I come from a business background as well. So, getting rid of all of this needless regulation and dialing it back and making our economy and our state a place where businesses have a chance to thrive, that's something that we could see more immediate. And I am excited about that. That's going to strengthen our economy.
Well, and I think, because I remember, Ed, when you first announced this, this petition drive, you were kind of telling me, just off the air, but that everybody was telling you you can never gather that amount of signatures in that amount of time. And you're going to do some adding up and tallying, and maybe we'll have some numbers tomorrow. We can give people that we're kind of an updated where we're at that point.
Yeah, that's what we'll do tomorrow. I'll give you I'll tell you where we're at and what the plan is to move forward.
So, Lucetta, is there anything else you want to talk to Oregonians about? Because we got a bunch of them on here. I like you. I've never had you on before, but I can see why they picked you.
Thanks.
You're but you hold yourself like you are Oregon. You know what I mean? Like, I really like that about you. And it's fun to have new people on. I had Dwayne Yunker on the other day. Oh my gosh, we had such a good talk. You guys have a good group of people. We
have a great group.
We do.
We just need it to be a little bigger.
We just want it to be we want more friends. We really want more friends.
So what you people out there in the audience looking at this and stuff, and I get people all the time asking, what can I do? Do like Ed did. He just ran because there was nobody running for that position as a Republican, and go in there and make a difference in people's lives. Right. I mean, you can't expect a handful of people to change Oregon. And yeah, it's a hard job. And yeah, you get picked on. But oh my gosh, on moments like this, when Oregon is actually screaming out, the pioneers are going, man, because that's what I think is so funny about Oregon. I love about Oregon. A bunch of misfits came and started the state. They were people they didn't fit in anywhere, and we're still there, but we just need people to be involved. That's a problem. I talked to a gold miner one time, and she said in Granite, Oregon, and I said, what's the problem with Oregon? And she goes, Oregonians are rugged individualists. And she says, and that's a good thing, but the problem is we don't work well with other people.
That's true.
that can be true, but there could be a future where we can do it the Oregon way. But what we're seeing currently is that we can't thrive in Oregon in any way because it's too expensive and we're being pushed out, and we don't have clean streets or safe schools or standards in our schools that people feel comfortable to move here and start their family. I mean, there's just so many things that we can improve on. And when, like you said, if we're 80 out of 81 in one category, there's 10 other categories that we're right around that same statistic. So we can improve in a million different ways and make Oregon a better place that we all remember it as.
Because like education is, Oregon used to be tops when it was came to education. Now Mississippi is up number 4 and number 7, and Oregon's still down in the 40s. And it's like, we're spending so much money on education, and the OEA's got its nose in everything. And it's like, and these are the results we get. I mean, people aren't going to move here because that's one of the first things you look at when you're moving is how are the schools? Right. And if you've got that kind of education and all they're doing is DEI and not doing any ABCs, people don't want that.
And they can't afford to buy a house. So there's another issue. Overtaxed. Yeah, there's a lot of negative.
How could you, people ask me all the time, what would you do to reduce, the cost of housing? Well, how about development charges? I mean, couldn't you do something with the development charges? And, every little street area in Montana, we don't have curbs everywhere, and you don't have to have 2.3 trees per, lot and, and stuff like that, because I think people just want a house and then they'll put the trees in later. it's like, just give them a place that they can call home, because I heard a statistic today that the average male buying a house now is 40.
Right. I heard that.
3 years ago, it was
Wild. Yeah.
33, and now it's 40. And and you and all of us probably, and I'm older than you guys, just a little bit, but we we were buying them in our 25, 26, 27. We were buying our first house.
Yeah.
And now we got kids, I have one of my sons can't afford to buy a house right now.
Yeah.
It's too expensive. So and Oregon could change that.
Right.
Yeah, it
Agreed.
could. We know how to do it. Lucetta and I know how to do it.
Yeah. With some more friends, Rick.
Yeah, we need some more friends.
Okay.
Hey, I did want to mention, we have some great candidates
do.
running for office this go around, Rick. It'd be great for you to have them on. And
no, tell them. I'm
Yeah.
having every governor. I'm getting some of them. I don't know who they are, but they're candidates saying they're running for governor, and I'm putting them on. I want people to. When I was a news guy, people said, I don't know who these people are, so I'm giving them an hour to just talk about who they are and ask them questions.
That's great.
Because I want
some good house candidates that are up in some very competitive districts, and absolutely we can connect with them.
Okay, you let me know, because I would be happy to put those on there, and those folks on there, and then as we get closer, especially, we'll just keep kind of hammering this in. All right, so is there anything else that I haven't asked you that I need to talk to you about?
I think we've covered it. Yes, there's always more, but yes.
I know you have something else you have to do, and I'm really into hard outs, and I want to make sure you get out.
Okay,
Ed,
thank you.
Oh, and it's so nice to have you on, and a McMinnvilleite. That's my family.
Yes,
So
good place. Good place.
Best downtown,
right?
It's a cool downtown.
Yeah, it is. It certainly is.
Yeah, and the Blue Moon, my aunt used to own that.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's an
Best
icon.
bar, best old time fashion bar with Naga height seats. You can't beat it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Lucetta,
great.
thank you for being here. Ed, I'll see you tomorrow night.
You bet. See you at 4.
See you guys later. Thank you
All right.
both.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Okay, you guys, there you go. So we'll be having more candidates on here to talk. I know a bunch of you coming on there going, Ed should run for governor. He can't this time. Maybe later down the road, who knows? We might be able to talk him into it. But this time, there's already a huge field, and he has things he has to do. He has a family, he has a life. So right now, it's just probably not going to work that way. But, you got other candidates, and we're introducing into all of them. I just got another one, Paul, I think it's Roma. He was on there. Now, I don't know. I saw Colinda. Colinda, are you still on here? Are you coming on tomorrow night? Because I saw you in the audience. So you might as well tell me, are you going to be able to come on tomorrow night at 4 or 4:30? Because Ed's going to come on at 4. And then I'd put you on, whenever you can get away from the bar. And then we're going to talk about the Constitution. But I'd love to have you. So either let me know on here. It'd be probably best to just message me, and you have my phone number so you can let me know. You guys, this is pretty exciting stuff. So tomorrow night at 4:00 Oregon time, tune in, and we will hopefully, it's just not like you just can't add up the numbers. So that's what they're working on. They're trying to figure out what they have, and they know what they need. And so tomorrow we will give you hopefully some numbers, so you'll kind of know where people are. It's going to be exciting. Yes, Danielle Bethel is also running for governor. She's been on our show many times, a good friend of our show. I love her. She's a great person. Christine Drazen is also running. And then there's Van Dyke. There's several people. So we've had them all. You can go back on our pages and look. You guys share this on your page so other people know what's going on in Oregon, because that's why I wanted to talk about that executive order the governor did, because it wasn't clear what it was. And here's the other thing. Yep, Paul Romero, that's who it is. Thank you, Michelle. He's coming. He just contacted me today. So share this on your page so other people know. Tune in tomorrow night so you can see what's going on with the numbers on the petition drive. And then remember, once you get the signatures you need, it still has to go to a vote. And then we're going to have to hammer this again, because that's the real pill right there. Because there's a lot of people that just vote Democrat, and if Governor Kotek said, then I'm going to do it. And so you guys that's when you really have to stand up. But here's the thing, you can do it because you already got the signatures. You're going to find, I'm being positive. You're going to get those signatures, and you're going to know. And then somebody mentioned on here too, the recall of the governor. That's not dead. It's in the courts. It will be decided sometime in December. And then that may what could happen is get more time to get those signatures. And is getting her out of there going to happen very fast? No. But here's the deal. It's another sign that says that's why it's important, because it's telling them, no, you don't get to do this. I don't have anything against Democrats. I don't believe in a lot of their ideology. I used to. I don't know, not what they're doing now. The far left is way out of whack. And what they've done to destroy Oregon drives me crazy. So I will speak out against that. Yeah. And it is them. They've done it. The legislature, they did this. They did this. This is why you're voting on that. The Democrat legislature did this. And so that's really, this is not just to Tina Kotek. This is to all the Democrats in the legislature. This is a slap in the face if you guys get these signatures in, because it's telling them, guess what? No, we, the people, decide, not you elected officials. It's not your job. You are there to listen to us, not to your own little ideology and your governor and your special interest groups. You're there to listen to us. So the OEA doesn't get to run the state of Oregon anymore. Neither does the SIEU or the AFL-CIO. The people are running Oregon. So there's a new governor in town. It's not me. All right, share it on your page. Join us tomorrow night. We got exciting stuff coming up. Colinda, get a hold of me and let me know if you're coming on. See you guys later. Good night. Don't you love your job? I do.